It's played host to 10 Super Bowls. Here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Freeman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So the D-line's going to spread out. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Looking deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
He took a hit on that last play. Now let's see how he and the offense respond on second.
Here we go. Watch it now, Marty. Back it up, Philly. Here we go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jesse James, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And he knocks it through. A first half update now from Philadelphia. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Lutz now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And here now come the Falcons. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Hunter Henry brings it in. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons say they have it. They do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, with a pick. And now running right through it. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 18-yard line.
And that's how you want to start a sequence defensively. That's what we used to call, partner, hello, glad to meet you. Tagged him for a loss.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's James. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And some space here. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. And now the passing game here in the second quarter is starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In motion, James, the tight end. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now Trubisky to throw on second. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Around the NFL, second quarter in Chicago. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know, when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Around the NFL, they're in the second in Philly, and it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Second down following the run.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now it's Trubisky. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Able to power through. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. On second down, here's Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. And no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in week 7. But for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground at the 21-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Let's go. 319. 319. No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Set. 319.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. Just by him. He is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard.